on this speed paint, I guess. I did an emergency speed paint this week because I've been trying to work with the footage for Diversity 2, like the first part, for like a few days now. Every time I tried like downloading it, it would give me an error, and I should have taken that as a warning sign, but I was determined. And everything was fine with exporting. Took a while, and then, I started editing and found out that the entire like middle portion is just corrupted, and it was a lot of back and forth, and eventually I just said fuck it, and it's been a busy week, so I don't have time to do much else. So sorry about that. Today you're getting a little sneak peek, I guess, into the next high exposure, I guess. I'm doing a speed paint of basically like the ending card, and I'll just go over my process of like how I usually do them, what my thought process is. Maybe a little bit of like a behind the scenes for even like the designs I use and how I like transfer the Minecraft stuff into I guess my style for everything high exposure. I'm not gonna take up any more of your time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know if I said that already, but let's get to the video. So for the voiceover, I'm kind of just gonna be like saying all of this as I watch the video back. Basically, the first thing I'm doing is kind of sketching the outline for the background. That's what I do in every like high exposure thumbnail, like thumbnail slash ending. For this one, we did the museum. That's a little bit of a sneak peek for next week's episode. I believe it's next week. Yes. Basically, I'm just sketching out the museum. I went in with a little bit more detail this time than the other ones because I was recording, and I thought that, since there was a lot of like last minute stuff going on, this was already like so behind, probably should have gone extra. Something I always do with my backgrounds is I use kind of like the ruler sort of mask, I believe it's called, or stencil, and just like block out like everything. Even if it's like at an angle, I usually stencil out everything with the straight lines beforehand, and then kind of use the transform tool to basically like get the angle correct, and then I go back in and fix anything that doesn't make sense. Like here, I'm making the end of, I guess, the column circular so that it doesn't look like a box that just got moved. Um, I also added like a lot of details for this, like the textures on the columns and the brick of the roof. I believe it was made of brick. I'm pretty sure we used quartz, but in an actual museum, it'd probably be made of brick or of some sort, probably like a marble brick or a quartz brick, since this is Minecraft. I'm just going in with I guess you could say the courtyard looking thing. Basically it's basically just like I guess you could say the sidewalk, sort of like raw cobblestone thing that we had. It was actual stone, so I kind of just made that into like a sort of brick thing, kind of like to show off the stone, added like a bit of a cobblestone texture because I think that like looks really cool on roads. I didn't do what I usually do and do like a bit of cross hatching to make the wire defense. Instead, I used like a textured brush because I thought since it's so zoomed out, it would look nicer. And I'm honestly not a fan of when I just do the crisscross thing because if you look at the perspective, the hole would be big enough for someone to walk through, and it doesn't make any sense. For this one, I started to go in with the colors a bit, and so I started going in with the shadows first of all, since I'm using the watercolor brush. And basically, what you want to do with that is like get the dark colors in and then blend. Um, my coloring was a lot more messier than it should have been, considering the detail I attempted to do with the line art. But you can't really see it anyway once you see what's gonna happen later. Something that I usually do while I'm working on these types of watercolor stuff is like I like to mix in like different hues. Like for this one, I'm starting to use like a little bit of a greenish yellow to make the I guess shadows, because you don't want to just go in with like a gray if you're coloring white, because that looks honestly like pretty ugly and washed out. If you need more of like the lighting expertise, you can talk to Steven. You can ask him questions. I'm sure he'd love to go on a little lighting rant. Although I'm the color theory specialist here. Basically, I'm just attempting to figure out my colors this entire time. I'm starting to do the grass, and like I said, I start off with the base color, and then I go in darker, and then just blend. And I'm doing the same with the, I guess, path. I should be. And yeah, with this one, I went in with a bit of a green instead to kind of match like the grass. Honestly, it was a bit of a mistake because I forgot to do it on a different layer, and so the green from the grass kind of blended in. But I think it gave a really nice effect, you know? Now I'm going in, coloring the water. One thing I really like to do for this one is that I went in and just, like, put in, like, a bit of that, what do you call it? Like, the reflection of the museum in it. And now I'm adding the, light, or I guess the, windows with, like, the lights. Originally, I was gonna have it, like, glowing, like it is in the reference picture, kind of, because the chandelier, but it didn't look nice, so I just, like, did the regular thing now. And now we're going to the actual, like, foreground, and I have a base for this of Wilbert and Gladys that I usually, like, just, draw the characters for and then color later, and for this one, we're doing some, a black sheep, an enderman, and a spider for, like, a little scene that you will see in the next episode next week. They're all holding, like, scrolls and, like, papers because they are artistes and authors. And with this one, I just go in with the line art with the same brush as before, the marker brush, because I really liked the little... It just honestly makes drawings like these with, like, a more simplified but still kind of, like, detailed line art, like, a lot more fun. And here's the Enderman. I'm sorry if it's a little creepy looking. I just feel like that's my vision for how an Enderman looks like. You know, they've got, like, the skinny arms and skinny legs and skinny body, so I feel like they're just, like, really bony, like Slenderman kind of, because Slenderman, get it? The sheep was just a regular sheep. I looked up a reference. Don't make fun of me for the spider. I didn't want to look up a reference. I don't like spiders. I could have looked up a tarantula, because I'm not scared of those. But I didn't want to look at spiders, so I'm really sorry if we have any spider enthusiasts out there who are very passionate about spider anatomy. I'm sorry if I, like, fucked that up. I'm trying my best. After this, I'm just kind of going in with the details, kind of just adding, like, the final touches on this very messy line art. And oh my god, this part. So I was trying to use the selection tool because I always, like, go in and make, like, a selection base for it and then use a clipping mask to color over it. And there was, like, one pixel that wasn't being found by the close gaps feature that Medibang has, and it was driving me crazy. Here, I finally figured it out. It took me like 10 minutes in real time to figure that out. With this one, they're all technically, like, black or dark gray, but because I want to add a bit of, like, variety so they don't seem like they're just going into one another, I had them all have different shades. So the Enderman is kind of lighter, the spider is the darkest, and then the sheep is a little bit in between. Now I'm just adding details, again, with the watercolor brush, going in with the medium colors, and then blending in the darker ones. And then just adding the details in, like, with the same thing, because I really like that. I just like that watercolor painterly feel, you know? Sometimes it's really annoying because you don't get the colors to be as accurate as you'd like, but usually I just like how it looks in the long run, especially for stuff like these. I feel like it just adds, like, a bit of flair, you know? Here I am coloring in the details and the scrolls, and the spider. I didn't spend a lot of time on the spider because I am scared of spiders. And, well, I think this one turned out really adorable. I don't really like drawing them. To be honest, I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of how the colors worked in this one. It seemed pretty muddy, which is why you see me going over the spider's scroll again. After that, I basically rasterize it. Is that how you pronounce it? I feel like that's how you pronounce it. And basically just go in and add that to the background. And now I add the shading. So you see me going in with a bunch of lights to make it all bright and colorful, and then I start adding the shading, like the shadows with the clipping mask to the characters. One of the bad parts of having the line art and colors on the same, like, layer is that I can't really do bright highlights that easily because then it, like, messes with the line art. So I use a lot of overlays in this. Honestly, overlays are super fun. I love that blending mode. Here I am going in, adding, like, a bit of lighting to the characters to kind of make them pop a bit. And, just, like, I'm just trying to make everything seem all, like, bright and sunny because the scene takes place in, like, a really sunny, like, and bright day. And then I just add the corruption, and I won't be showing the final version here. You'll have to watch the video to find that out, but thank you so much for watching and dealing with whatever mess happened this week. Hopefully everything should be back to normal soon, and I will figure out what is going on with the diversity episodes. Wish me luck, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.
Next on High Exposure.
I mean, it's history. You can't really change it, right?
Our founders came across the remains on a pilgrimage. The survivors were starving and sick with nowhere left to go. Something isn't adding up.
He might have been right earlier. We should look into this again. Like we did at the zoo and the buy and die.